And I don't mind that idea too, you know, the support being able to get a hog now and again against pressure that you're seeing here in this duo lane. I think the more important thing is what we see out of Chiron generally is this level 2 start. But Johnny getting aggressive at this blue buff after taking some back harpies and gets pinned in by Benji walking around the corner for first blood and first mistake made. Ducky's here though to do some damage back and actually gets a kill in return. That was way more damage than bargained for.
Yeah, some damage is right. Wukong's still pretty good, by the way. Benji does a good job of crippling out Johnny, making sure he couldn't teleport with the sandstorm. I think he might have been out of mana anyways, but ends up really preventing that from escape from going off, gets the first blood, and then thinks, no way, Ducky's going to disrespect me by hitting me this whole time, but wasn't really disrespect. It was just the damage necessary.
Ducky doing a good job there, just to even things out for a second. I mean, I don't think Benji will be too upset considering he did get first blood, so has the bonus gold to get his full boots online. As we check him with the duo lane now, Valhalla Valkyries getting double taunted, and Amelito's going to charge away. Rafa taking a ton of damage too as Aurora charges in. There won't be a kill there, but you can just see the pressure that can come from this double taunt from Athena if she gets the window to do so.
Certainly a lot of damage, and Kernan
exactly where that jungler was this season. How do you feel about Scary D so far and how he's doing? Hang on, hold that. We'll come back to that because it looks like Johnny might be doing the same thing, but there's no wards here for the Titans to know this is going on. Sunder is available for Rafa and he'll leap in, force an escape, and there's the jump in from Johnny looking towards Cyclone. He is level 6 and he'll get himself a kill. A great little composition there working out for Valkyries. It's a double for Johnny. And meanwhile on the right hand side, you can see the invade going on, but great work from the Valks there.
Just good identification that Cyclone was just a little greedy with his back timing. Didn't go back for boots 2. He was still sitting on just Bluestone in the early Morning Star. So you have so much more power and mobility on the set than he can handle.
Well, Ducky needs some mobility. One more attack. We've done it in the Bluestone. Tick will be enough. Didn't get the regen through in time. Benji gets credit for the kill as the Goon Squad of Titans group up, and Johnny needs to watch out. He's going to get taunted. Ragnarok's available too. Where's your beads now, friend? Not available. Back to the fountain for you. 3-3. We tie it up, and we get a bloodbath in this game.
Man, such a smart play from Benji. He knows that Johnny doesn't have beads. Cyclone does his job, even though he dies on that duo lane gank. He forces the beads from Johnny, doesn't just give up, and that opens up this play. Aurora looking to still stay aggressive, knowing that speed buff was up. It's pretty likely that he's going to be there, and look at this, they found another victim.
And he's got no cloud this time round, so Ducky falls again, reminiscent of what happened to Zapman up against the Leviathans earlier on this week too, as now the Titans start to pull ahead for a second in terms of kills, but it's still all even in gold right now, so it's still anyone's game. We've had a Ducky.
And out of Raffer, so 2 ultimates for just defending the buff. Still worth it for the Valkyries, assuming the Titans don't play too aggressively during the time where those cooldowns are down. Zero's playing awfully aggressively in mid, and that's what I like to see in this matchup.
Well, in goes a Ragnarok from Scary D, but Aurora got wrapped around and surrounded. Space in time comes out, doesn't find a target, and into the ultimate goes Rafa. Does he have an escape? He does! The tower shot will follow him, and he's forcing Scary to blink in, but no follow-up available from Valkyries there. Now Ducky in trouble too is Scary. Looking for the extra kill. Nice little use of the transformations, but not enough. Scary gets himself a double, and now Johnny surrounded, but might be able to turn on Benji. But the extra protections Benji gets from the fight can come back. And as you said, Zero's coming in, but so's Athena.
And Aurora may have just saved Scary's life. He did. Shoutouts to that Defender of Olympus damage mitigation. Scary, of course, calculating that all the way. He knows Zero's likely to be there, but he does time as a disengage tool for himself and multiple members of the Titans. You know, Zero's pops that ultimate. Instantly, Paul just ults away and gets some people to the other side of a wall and sets up an easy team fight for them. Yeah, this is just Raph being Raph, you know?
You see, I'm not as big a fan of this as he's going to use the ultimate, or it doesn't matter. Like, the rest of the team wasn't nearby. That's a terrible mistake. I'm not gonna say anything different than that. I just don't know why he's there at that point in time, especially when rotations were potentially of experience from those Harpies.
Yeah, you're not going to be in a good position as Fafnir once you start falling super far behind. I mean, supports always can deal with getting less farm, but Fafnir's one that really likes getting ahead.
Oh, space and time did connect there from Paul, but as he jumps through the portal, he turns tail because Johnny's there, and Raw coming in, but a little bit too late. Scary goes down to zeros and the burst damage. The ghosts come through, but Paul does at least take out Johnny to make that a 1-for-1 exchange as Rafa re-enters the fray without his ultimate now. Hammer connects. Don't think they're going to have the damage to kill a Raw at this stage, however, with just the Jean Qui's exorcism in the mid lane. And funny enough, left-hand side. Great job from Cyclone here, Raw, catching back up in catching it back up in experience. Why did I call you a Raw and aggro? I don't know why.
I don't know, but that's a great compliment, and I will be taking it.
I wish I was with a Raw. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too. Exactly what I was looking for Paul to do. Just use that ultimate as a disengage tool. You don't need to do more than that. Play it nice and simple.
Zeros needs a disengage tool and has one in those beads, but now they're on cooldown. Scary D has to jump away. Benji gets hold of Johnny, though, who's trying to return some damage back towards the Fenrir. And Johnny in the midst of hell, he has to use the Aegis to escape, but the ghosts are causing damage. But is it going to be enough is the question. It looks like it should be. But at the same time, Ducky won't be able to get Benji, who will still sustain Stone of Gaia to the rescue.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he missed that Jingu Bang, but it looked like it did.
More now. And they're on the hunt again as Paul's going to try and play some wards down, but Johnny's in the area. Got to be careful of that too. And a lot of calls on the comms right now will probably be who's got relics available, whose relics are down. And Jean-Qui in the mid lane, his relics are down. And guess what? He's like a dog with a bone, shockingly enough. Going to bring Jean in, but a stun's good to buy some time. What? And he turns it around with the whip around. Great shell usage on a Rafa there just to keep his mid laner alive too. And that makes it 9-7 with Scary falling.
Man, this build coming from Paul, I mean, this is the build on that shell. But without a Sunder quite yet from Aurora, I'd expect he's going to get it once he hits level 12, or once he backs now that he's hit level 12. Without that there, and without any flat pen in the build for Paul, even though he fires off that through space and time, it just doesn't deal quite enough damage.
We've got another minute, so we can have a little look back exactly what happened here. We knew we had no beads or Aegis, so the full combo comes out from the Valkyries, sorry, from the Titans there. But the double stun and the shell into the quick heal that comes off there was huge for him. Didn't use the card there, right, in mid lane for a second. So Titans go, you know what, we can't look at Fury. How about the Pyromancer?
Really surprised that Cyclone Spin has upgraded his Bluestone. I really thought that this was just a bridge sort of starter item, allow him to clear a little bit better early, but he's upgraded it.
All in on a roll, but that was beautiful damage. And Emilita over the wall with a snipe will secure the kill. One of the major beads burners on the side of Titans, now down for 35 seconds. But what can Valkyries do with those 35? Is Ducky going in quickly with that ultimate? But it doesn't look like Titans want to contest. Valkyries will get a tier 1, and Valkyries will get a Primal Fury. Although that's a Fire Giant call? No.
I mean, Aurora's coming. Aurora's going to be on the way, but Rafford knows it's happening.
But Rafa's already dead, and that's what happens when the amount of... That was insane, the amount of damage he just took there. Blew up in an instant. But he stops the Fire Giant, and that's the main thing they were really after there from Valkyrie's point of view. He will take that tumble back to the graveyard as Ducky gets taken up, brought back down, hit by a taunt, chased on in. The rest of the team still busy doing the Scorpion on the backside from Titans, but the rundown of Ducky begins, and this should be enough to find another kill. And this might open up a Fire Giant attempt, but the damage dealers from Valkyries are here, and their ultimates for the most part are intact, as are their relics. Someone's going to go in soon. Who's it going to be?
Guys, that ultimate and his relics still up and available, but it's going to be tough for him to find the angle in. Paul's ult's back up.
Emilito taking a ton of damage. The ghost exhumed from zeros there. Not doing much, just to back away and Cyclone Spin. Realizing there's a window there to get in for a second. But the snipes from Emilito! Ooh. Beautiful angle for damage! And that should be forcing back the Titans at least on the barest amounts of health bars. Sure, Johnny died. Sure, Ducky died. Sure, Rafa died earlier. But the Fire Giant still stands. So it's not too bad from the Valkyries' point of view.
No, not Sacrificial Shroud is pretty good. I'm with you on that.
Fire Giant below half health. Rafa coming into the pit early. Remember the Primal Fury is in the fray on this one too. Rafa though gets hit, as does Ducky by that taunt by Aurora, and it opens Scary to the back line, who buys a bit of time to separate the back line. Ducky and Ducky on the front line, whichever one's the clone, is definitely the low health one. But Johnny's in there too. I just saw him whip around the back. Has he found anyone? No is the answer. I just don't think he could get into the mix enough. He's forced out by Benji. Scary gets Ducky after the Somersault Cloud, and now Johnny's Aegis is wearing off. He's got a Magi's, but the damage won't be prevented. And Scary gets a double. The chase is on from the Titans, and it's a rout. Yes, Sacrificial Shroud meant nothing. Cast a curse once again as Rafa becomes a pig for a second, and meanwhile Emilito forced to push mid lane. Scary should get a delayed triple here as the rest of the Titans can fall back.
Way Ducky and Raffer got double taunted as frontliners, and that's never a good start for your fight. It's not an instant ender like it is when your backline gets double taunted, but still lets Paul get off a good chunk of damage before the fight even starts. And Zeros just got completely neutralized that entire fight. I don't know who he was. He must have been trying to fend off Benji on his ultimate, but I didn't see where Zero's ultimate was at all that fight.
Yeah, I didn't really. I think I heard it, but I didn't really see where exactly it landed. I won the 2 hunters so far this game, but they've been there when they needed to be. At least Cyclone has involved in 4 of the kills so far. As Ducky is in a bit of trouble over here because Benji's also lurking around too. So is Johnny though, but I don't think Johnny can really take down the pair of these two effectively. Ducky will be able to get away. Oh, will he? Because Scary will blink in. And now it's Johnny in trouble because Athena's turned up too. He's forced to jump away from the Magi's, but Scary's still giving chase too. And the Fenrir, the man mounted, is too much alongside this Athena. All the while, Cyclone's been taking down tier 2 left, tier 2 mid, looking at a Phoenix, and he can come over to group with his team if he wants to. They're keeping him all busy on the right, opening Cyclone up to get this middle Phoenix, and that's exactly what you want if you're the Titans. Meanwhile, there's still people dying. Emel's close to death. The ghosts come out from Zeros though, but it's not enough to get a kill whatsoever, and Zeros evaporates to Benji, and that could just be game 1.
Yeah, Scary D just has been unstoppable in this one. 12 kills for the man in the jungle. Ronnie looking good to start off the group stages here for the Tartarus Titans.
A definitely interesting balancing act between the teams in the early game though, Ryan. Definitely.
Before you get those Ninja Tabby, his very low base attack speed can feel pretty rough to fight against, or fight with, I should say, in lane. But now that he's got the Ninja Tabby, it's not impossible that the Valkyries could win a fight on it.
A mid-Harpies fight. I've not seen one of these in a minute. Aurora takes a lot of damage, but will escape danger just in time. The moonlight comes through, though, and Paul ends up dragging Johnny under the tower. Scary D's up, down. Didn't work out too well to really do any damage. And a 3v3 in the mid is Valhalla who pull the trigger first and get first blood. Bad news is, though, right, did go to Rafa, which I really think they would have loved to see on Johnny or Zeros there.
Yeah, of course you'd rather have it go on one of the damage dealers, but among supports to get the lead, it's not too bad as Scary gets jumped on by Ducky, but just not enough damage. Good presence there from Scary to make sure that he's overhead kicking that Jingu Bang.
Definitely. I'm interested to wonder if like Ducky really thought about hesitating there for the overhead kick or
slow start. And I don't think the Valkyries really have a composition that can punish you for going a slow start. They don't really accelerate into the early game very well. They need some time to start to get those items before they're equally strong. So I think this pickup actually makes a lot of sense.
Oh, Scary got baited by jumping on Rafa there and exploded quickly. That card stun from Zeros was very, very quick. I'm interested in what Zeros is actually maxing here, but look at Benji rotating around the back, trying to find a pick on Johnny, and Johnny under some pressure here as Benji continues to go in. It means the front line is also under a bit of pressure too. Rafa forced to transform. Zeros pops a ghost, all in Benji here as Ducky turns up, and there's the moonlight coming through towards Aurora too. Ducky continues the chase, finds a good tiger stun. The Chronos damage not really enough to prevent the follow-up for the time being, but 3 now kills for the Valkyries, as it's Titans grouped up and Valkyries taking the fights.
Yeah, just a bad decision by Scary to kick all that off, and then Benji kind of feels priced into going in order to, when really he isn't. Just definitely a mistake. We're talking about how, yeah, I think the Titans outscale center around Paul, and that they're going to be in a good position come mid to late game. They don't have to rush it. You don't have to stress about someone 3-way splitting this.
Oh, perfect play from the combo there. Blinking from Scary with Aurora dunking down for the kill on Johnny. And the blue buff does fall, but the damage was done. Aurora can still give chase here. Benji's on the way back too. They may look towards Ducky if they can, but I don't think they've got the cooldowns to do that side of the map, looking for some remnants in the jungle to take. But red buff's not going to be up for another minute or two at the moment. Goldfree wasn't available at the time. It is now. But the bad news is Titans are here and on the way. However, the trap is being set again. Hammer onto Scary. No stun though, because the taunt out from Aurora saved his life. Not long enough, however, because Johnny picks up the kill. But now Johnny could be under some pressure too.
Benji in a perfect position. Aurora on the way as well, but good disengage coming from the jungler until Cyclone puts on the scope and finds the kill.
And Paul back to full health with that rewind too. Take into account Amelito not involved in this fight anymore. Dipped out to the left-hand side. Zeros needs some help from his team and gets it, but Benji will still claim the life of the mid laner. He'll go down in trade, however, and the damage is done where Titans could look for a Gold Fury here. There is still Amelito on the map, but at the moment they're looking at this tier 1 tower, which makes a lot of sense. It's kind of interesting that this could be very similar to what Valkyries did game 1. They took a tier 1 in mid, and then look.
He's staying for now, but no relics, no ultimate. He shouldn't stick around in this position, I don't think. If the Titans decide they want to kill him, they should be able to do so pretty easily.
Well, let's see what happens there, because 4 members still group. Paul stepping up, happy to do so against the Fafnir. Titans do get it, but do the Valkyries get away? They will, because Titans choose the better argument to just fall back to their own half of the jungle, take the red, take the purple, and just guarantee themselves that lead. It's around 1,200 gold now. Seasons, at least some attempts, that's for sure. As you said, Scary still farming up in the jungle now, mainly ability-based focus here. Aurora's a bit far forward, but Rafa just can't hit that hammer there, and instead it's Ducky under pressure because Benji was wrapping around the back. Great combo onto him, and the stun does connect, forces the Somersault Cloud, but meanwhile Scary being chased down by Zeros here, but the Ghosts are not going to be in range now. Zero's out of position too far forward. Needs some help from Rafa, has to be. It's Benji going to get the knock-up, and Paul's going to find the damage at the tail end to pick up the kill, and that's the danger of the Jean Kui. You overextend, don't find the kills, it could come back to haunt you.
Yeah, Zero's probably feeling real good about his position there. He's doing lots of damage. Paul's low, Scary's low. Then Scary ults out and Paul rewinds, and Zero's stuck in no man's land. Much like Paul is right now.
Yeah. Unusual for Paul to be like that, in my opinion. Generally, when he makes those decisions, he's in a good spot. Without the beads, though, that Tiger Stun, which, in fairness, Ducky's doing a very good job just lately with these Tigers, aren't done just yet at this Fury. They're happy with how this has gone. Aurora still on zone duty. Taunt onto Rafa. Damage follow-up is there, too, as the Titans get the Primal Fury. And it's only Aurora on the front side here. He may end up going down as the rest of the Titans kind of watch on to see if they can support him, but they don't want to commit just yet, and the dash away from Aurora's good. Oh, no, but he won't find that Shuriken, but the Moonlight will, and Johnny gets the kill. Aurora for a Fury is definitely worthwhile for the Titans.
Yeah, that's a great call for
this map for a sec with the health bars of Valkyries looking low. Keep an eye as well, however, on Aurora, who did get Horrific Emblem upgraded this game too. So that could come into the fray, reducing some of the damage done by everybody. Rafa's still the focused target from the Titans here. Forced to transform early. Beautiful stun from Paul will prevent Rafa from escaping the clutches as Ducky jumps on him with a Tiger Stun, but he's immediately having to cloud away too. Valkyries lose one and use a few ultimates. Only the carries really have theirs available, and the lack of engage potential now is tricky for the Valkyries as the Fire Giant is started by the Titans.
And they've got much better DPS this time around because of the Chronos, so they have to respect this more.
Benji going in with Scary D2, and the Doomsday Squad is there. Cyclone gets credit for the kill, even though the Fist of Fury coming out from Scary D could have been there too, but Cyclone gets the double with the masterful shot, and that is now a chance of a Fire Giant. However, they'd rather look at Zeros first of all, it seems. Only Aurora really around that Fire Giant going, guys, should we do this? Instead, they'll take the life of Zeros, and then the FG.
Yeah, might as well. That's just more farm for the boys and get a chance to put him on the respawn timer, stop Zero's farm from trying to catch up in this.
Titans hanging around mid and left-hand side, generally left, as there's going to be minions coming there a little bit sooner as we leave Paul and mid. But that ward in the middle lane there, you can see from Valkyries between the two, just gives vision, so they can always open that door and do something. But left-hand side, Benji getting aggressive, so is Aurora towards Rafa. Rafa's trying to buy as much time as he can. Very late on that ultimate from Rafa, though, took more damage than bargained for. Is still sustaining up for now, but Benji will get credit for the kill, probably with Bluestone on Mystical Mail. Meanwhile, Paul in the mid lane combining with Scary to keep Zeros at bay, and Zeros very low against Scary D, and Scary will get the kill with the overhead kick, all the while the Phoenix being whittled down in the mid by Paul. On the left-hand side, Benji takes Ducky. Doomsday is here for the Valkyries as Titans are looking to end the game soon.
Yeah, they've really just picked him apart. Paul going in. He doesn't have to worry about dying here, Hindu Man, because, of course, he's got that alternate timeline. OP, gotta be, for Paul as he survived because of it. And the Tartarus Titans find the 2-0.
A back and forth game for quite a few minutes there. Titans were starting to pull ahead. The Pyromancer gets taken by the Valkyries, and then the Fire Giant call.